welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. I'm Liz, and this is episode 106 of What's in My Tumbler. It was a chaotic filming this week. Starting off with one new filming setup. I got a fish cleaning table, and I put this really cool rock contact paper on it so it didn't just look plain white, and that's what I'm using now. We'll see how this works out. Two, it was raining when I filmed this. I just was so excited to use this table that I was like, oh, it'll be okay. It isn't too bad now. By the time we get to my backyard, you'll be seeing that it was coming down pretty hard. I am covered. I'm under a deck because I'm not dumb. I have a lightning rod for a camera rig. But anyway, this is Fossick 3. It is coming out of final polish, so get that rinsed off, and then a borax burnish cycle. And then we're going to get them rinsed off again. And I am going to, full confession here, I filmed me sorting these out to dry them 3 times. Twice the day it happened, and then once the day I'm recording this. This is what you're seeing is the one I recorded after that, because my camera settings got out of whack when I was drying off my camera, and I didn't realize like the filming was awful. None of the close-ups were in focus. It was terrible. So I refilmed these, this part, but then the final looks and the close-ups are from yesterday when I did the initial rinsing. So if you're eagle-eyed and you can tell that the rocks are not in the same space, that's why. Like I said, it was chaotic. Just filming it all yesterday with a whole new table set up, plus the rain in the morning, but the ASMR is going to be amazing on my other videos this week. So we'll get those sorted out and dried off. This is Moroccan striped jasper, which so good. They shined up so well. This is the serape jasper, which I'm still not sure if I'm saying that right, but that's how I'm saying it. Also fantastic. So pretty. Love the colors. Leopard skin jasper. Not as shiny. They have a shine, but it's not as good as the other ones. And I'm assuming it's the same reason that polychrome jasper doesn't shine up very well, because there's different materials that have different hardnesses, and that's how it works. But this is some natural lighting. This is in the sunlight to give you a good idea of just how pretty they are. This stuff, fantastic. No notes. Amazing. Patting myself on the back. Absolutely over the moon with this. All right, so now we are going to get into the glass. This is the last batch of glass. I do have more untumbled at all glass from that bowl that I broke up, and I might tumble that when I redo the obsidian that got broken. But that's on the back burner. I have a new exciting thing coming up next week. You can see my camera got knocked a little bit. Again, it was raining. I was miserable. My dog is a liar. She will not go, if you tell her to go outside to go pee in the rain, she will give you the biggest puppy dog eyes. But when I was out here filming, she was running around in the rain and having a good old time. So she is a liar. But anyway, doing any further of this glass is going to be on the back burner. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I might do some more glass. Like if I just happen to find some or break a glass or something, I might do it again. I do like tumbling this stuff. But I've got a new project coming up that I'm going to start next week that I'm excited about. So this is coming out of stage 3, going into final polish. So this is going to get a soap cycle. I didn't write soap on any of these because everything was soaking wet at this point. There was it wouldn't have written anyway. So I didn't write anything on any of these, but that it was all right. I knew what was going on. All right, so we're going to rinse off the soap cycle. And I have to worry about where I put the table, because it needs to be downhill so that it drains into the drain. So I figured that out. I'm just going to have to deal with it. But I do like the table because I can put it anywhere in my yard, and I can either drain into a bucket or drain into the... I'm not messing up my rocks in my rock bed anymore. That's why I got this table, and it's been great. But anyway, put those all, rinse them off, put them back in the barrel. Then they're going to get 1 tablespoon of final polish, because this is glass in with a lot of media, and a tablespoon of borax. And then these are going to be done next week. And I am excited. I think these are going to be great. I think if I do glass again, I'm going to go for a beach glass and do like a frosted look and see how I like that. I don't know. I like colored glass though, typically. All right, Rainbow Reboot. This is the retumbling of the quartz that was bruised after the experiment that I did with them. So we're going to get these rinsed off. These are currently in stage 2 going into stage 3. By this time, the rain was starting to come down, and I just wanted to be done because I was soaked. The dog was soaked. It was all messy. And I left a lot of this in of me trying to drain the water. I think in the future I'm going to cut a lot of that out. But this is me now just looking at handfuls of these, just making sure there's nothing obviously broken or sharp. Again, I just wanted to be done with this. So getting it all sorted, making sure nothing's chipped or broken, and get it going into the soap cycle. So I will come back after this sorting. All right, the sorting is done. Now we're going to add in the water and a tablespoon of ivory soap. You can tell how wet the teaspoon for that was or tablespoon was, because it's now coated in soap. And those went on the tumbler for a few hours. I don't remember exactly how long it was this week, but got them out of the soap cycle, get them all rinsed off. I do like that I can stand up while I'm doing it when I have the table, so I'm much more comfortable and I can see what I'm doing better, without having to like lean over and maybe bumping into the camera and whatever. I like the table. If you guys don't like the table, we can. I'm probably still going to use the table because I'm more comfortable, but I feel like I have a lot more options in how to do this. But anyway, tablespoon of borax, 3 tablespoons of stage 3, pre-polish, and this is ready to go and be going into final polish next week. So this will be done in 2 weeks. I'm kind of excited about that, but I have a lot more Rainbow Reboot to go through before they're all done. All right, my backyard. This is the whatever rocks I found in my backyard. And again, they didn't really tumble that well. I'm thinking of maybe potentially cutting some of these. I did finally break out my tile saw, and it worked really well. I know some people don't like tile saws for cutting rocks, but it worked for me. This red one, I don't think that one's going to shine up. It does not feel like a rock that's going to get shiny. But, you know, there's some interesting colors coming through. But I'm going to put these in stage 1 for at least another week, maybe even more. These seem to be really hard rocks. They're not really shaping much. It could be that they're not getting a lot of action because there's a lot of bigger rocks in here. That could be the problem. I couldn't remember if I had put water in there, so I had to check. But anyway, this one is done, and the rain had gotten pretty bad at that point, so I just put it on the barrel. Now, new empty barrel because Fossick was over. What am I going to do? This is copper slag that I got from Rough Stone, and I cut on my tile saw because they sent me a big chunk. So I cut that on my tile saw. And then I've had this dark smoky quartz from the rock shed hanging out forever. And I finally decided to throw it in there. I think these are pretty similarly hard. We'll see. But that's going to get a tablespoon of borax, 3 tablespoons of stage 1 grit, and then they are ready to go for their first week. And guesses on what I called this? I decided to go with copper smoke. So thanks for watching this video. The chaos in the filming turned out pretty decently in the editing. You guys put up with a lot for me. Like and subscribe, and hope you guys have a good week.